very bad feeling about this.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this. I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about
I have a very bad feeling about this. I've got a bad feeling about this.
For what it's worth, I've got a good feeling about this.
Punch it, Chisel! Day Wanawanga. Yeah, it's something different, you know, every time.
Yeah.
I gotta apologize for that last episode, though. Bro, I was 3 sheets to the wind.
It wasn't that bad.
I know, but you can hear my slow speech pattern and
dude.
these creative ideas coming in my head, and you don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
But they end up somewhere. Which is good.
It wasn't that bad.
It was kind of like the sequel series of Star Wars.
Exactly. I mean, I was in Oregon at the time, so and it was, we kind of did that one on the fly. So it was
Goonies
all right.
country, huh?
Exactly.
And they're doing the sequel.
Yes.
You were there.
Yes, I was. My daughter just moved up there, and like 5 blocks from the Goonies house, and you could literally see the house off of her back deck.
The same house is still there?
It's still there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, I would think they would have torn that shit down. Like, it's, prime real estate, maybe?
No,
I don't
some
know.
guy had just bought it recently. He bought it for like $1.3 million, I think.
That's really cheap, actually.
He
That's
bought it,
what houses go for.
He bought it as an
Oregon.
investment. No, I mean, it was pretty cheap up there. My daughter she's got a brand new apartment in a complex. 3-bedroom. This thing is nice. It's everything brand new in it. Vaulted ceilings, the whole deal. Pays less than $2,000 a month.
Well, I guess that proves that Goonies never die.
Exactly.
And it's going to start with your kids, man.
And the
They're
thing
going
is,
to reignite it.
She loves Goonies. She loves anything 80s. She's like, how am I nostalgic for a time period that I never lived in?
How many porches fly the Goonies flag, though, on the cliff or on the shoreline there? I can imagine a bunch of them do it on certain days. Or something.
I'm sure. When we were moving her in, they had a list of all the different places in the town where movies have been filmed.
Oh, sweet!
Because they also did Kindergarten Cop there. Obviously, yeah, Goonies, and a bunch of other ones, and it tells you, and it gave you the addresses of all the places so you can go check them out.
Wow!
This was in her welcome packet to her apartment.
I always love that scene in Kindergarten Cop that doesn't match up. It's when Detective John Kimball, and he's having a nightmare at the school, the kindergarten school, whatever, and then Crisp, the bad guy, Crisp, he like floats by on like a skateboard through the window, and it's just so weird that it's raining and he's like floating by. I guess it's a dream, but it's so dumb. He's on like a track. It's just really dumb. That Crisp guy. He did some other like straight to VHS movies, and then he became a security guard.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even remember who he was, really. It's been
Chris.
so long.
He's a ponytail bad guy, dude. Come on.
Okay.
And now he's a security guy with a ponytail. Oh, no, he's probably bald by now.
Maybe he's got a skullet.
You know what? He should look. If he went to like Comic Cons and stuff, I would be the only person in line. He'd be like, "Bro, you're Crisp. I'm gonna go hang this tinfoil on a fucking tower. You better stop me."
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. I guess that house is kind of cheap. But what's not cheap? Star Wars action figures.
No, not at all.
And I'm not talking about old vintage shit.
Well, it depends.
Well, if you're going to Ollie's and you want a Reva and that kind of shit.
Those aren't cheap. Well, also, we were planning on having a guest on today who kind of, I wanted to kind of talk about this. He says he was sick. I don't know if I believe him. So, he collects older, 375 figures, and we kind of make fun of him about it. And
when we say older 375, we're not talking vintage.
We're not talking vintage. We're talking Power of the Force.
But like the specialty ones,
the
though.
mid '90s and stuff like that. Oh, he doesn't get all the specialty ones. He just, he likes the red. He likes the red cards. And,
yeah, I seen his wall like before. He took all that shit down because I made fun of him. So
yeah,
much.
I know. So he likes that stuff. Hey, I love that stuff too. I have all of it.
I just want to say, like, look, I'm mentioning names, and we're talking about Cobra Dad, who is one of the co-hosts of Hoodcast AF, the action figure podcast, which is my other podcast. But yeah, we when I first started like talking to him, and we were kind of friends at the time. I kind of labeled him the street sweeper. Street sweeper.
Yeah, just picking up everything we left behind.
This motherfucker's Nelly and shit.
Yeah. So just whatever, what we didn't get, he got. So
here you go, little buddy.
Yeah, helping him out, passing him off on the stuff that we didn't want anymore.
Because I remember, because he was like a big time player, and he calls it La Polga, because he's Latinx. Oh, we can't say that anymore. I don't know. No. Whatever they want to be called, but he's that. Yeah, but yeah. I remember going to La Polga, and that's what we call it now, the swap meet. And there'd be like just different dudes selling like hella Power of the Force, like 2 for $5, and they have tons, garbage bags full. I don't know where they got. I bought a bunch just for background figures and stuff like that.
Oh, I have a ton.
Yeah, some of them are cool.
They are. My best score there. I bought 12 cases of Power of the Force figures. Cases.
They still in the original case.
Still in the original case.
Not that it's worth anything.
No, I bought 12 cases for $100.
Wow.
Yeah,
dude, 12.
Yeah.
And now you took all your shit out of like the storage, pay storage places,
and it's all in my house. It's all at my house right now.
I gotta hate looking at those blocking the way to the bathroom.
So
you fucking hoarder.
My storage shed. It's 10 by 12. You can open the door going into it, and that's it.
Oh, dude.
It is that full.
I'm feeling your pain because I'm just like that with normal action figures. I say normal, non-Star Wars.
Yeah, and that doesn't even cover my garage, which literally has like a path going from the door to the garage door, and then there's a little one that shoots off to the side.
Dude, 2 days ago, you're sitting in my garage right now. 2 days ago, it was stacked full.
Yeah.
And you can only get to the mailbox barely.
Yeah, that's what and then the rest of my house is full of stuff too. I got stuff in the rafters. I had to take a room upstairs. I've never put anything upstairs before. And right now I have a room upstairs that
you had back surgery recently, and you're carrying these boxes upstairs, downstairs, up,
So I've been taking it easy. I've had some help. I had I had the wives help me, so they did some heavy lifting.
I'm just going to let that slide.
Okay.
People can question that later.
Yeah. But I actually have some stuff upstairs, and I've never done that before. In this room, it's all sealed stuff. Like, my HasLabs are all in there. There's 2 Razor Crests. There's a Hiss tank in there. There's all kinds of stuff.
I might be interested in a Razor Crest eventually, but I got to develop some funds, but still.
Yeah. So I've got all this stuff, and it's all filling up a room upstairs. Stuff I got picked up at Celebration, things like that. All still, my Boba Fett throne room is in there. I haven't had a chance to display it. All this stuff just fills up one room upstairs.
Where are you at now with buying the new product? Because especially now, like even on Hoodcast AF, and I report on almost anything mainstream, sometimes other shit, but I stopped doing Star Wars because it's all repaints and some new shit that I don't really know of.
Yeah, and that's, that was, kind of our whole focus of this is where the market is going right now. I'm not buying a lot of the new stuff.
It's garbage.
It is. There's so many repacks and repaints and things like that,
ton. And then it's like way expensive.
Hard. Yeah.
And you can only buy it, and if it goes on sale, like, the IG-11 that you can fit...
the IG-12, yeah.
Whatever, yeah, with
Baby
Grogu in it. and now it's marked down to $24.99, which is what it should be because you don't get shit with it.
So I was gonna, I was saving this for recent acquisitions, but I picked mine up and they put it on sale, and then they had 25% off of any one toy. Plus, I had some rewards. I ended up paying $13 for mine.
Hey, that's look, it's worth $13.
I was waiting for it to go on sale. I wanted it, and I was like, I'm not paying full price for this. And the thing is, I've bought everything. Anything that they put out in the past 5 years, I bought it. I have every credit collection thing. I have all the carbonized ones, all the Christmas ones, everything that they put out. I bought it.
Did you stop before they came out with the holocom stuff? Light up.
That's right when I stopped.
So I like those. Not every single one, but I like
there
those.
are
I have
a couple
the Vader
that I
one
like
from Amazon that I haven't opened.
Yeah, there's a couple in that I like that. Like, I saw the Darth Maul. I'm gonna get the Darth Maul one.
It makes sense because you've seen him in the show,
exactly,
or on the
Yes. So there's, like you said, there's a couple that I want, but I'm not gonna buy everything anymore. No. I'm gonna be kind of picky now. I'm just not happy with what they are putting out. They've raised the prices. What they're charging us for some of this stuff is ridiculous. At one, it kind of depends on, what they feel like, because I've seen figures at $27.99 and then at $24.99. And it just seems to shift back and forth whenever they feel like it.
It's weird because they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So they know who's their audience, and that's grown men. Much.
We all know that.
It's all men, pretty much. It's
there's
not
some
kids.
Women.
It's all grown men. And like for the Black Series and the TVC, I'm not talking about the kid lines and all that shit that goes straight to Ollie's and shit.
Oh yeah,
none of that. Because no kids buy that shit.
No,
none of them.
I have
never seen it.
I have all of the Mission Fleet stuff, just because I was buying everything. And
bro, just throw that shit away.
So
you're never gonna recop on that.
No,
Never.
No, I don't plan on it. I liked some of the things in it. I was like, when they did a Slave One, I was like, okay, cool. It's another Slave One that can go with all my other ones, because I have them in every other size. So I didn't mind too much about that.
It's not called the Slave One anymore, but
it still is.
Is it?
Then
I thought it's called Boba Fett's.
No, that's how
the fire
spray. Yeah, it's still Slave One. They're just using other names.
Well, maybe now that the new president is coming in, and maybe it can be renamed Slave One.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe
Disney's a certain way. But that brings me back to the rock and the hard place. So you got a company, and people who love Star Wars are working for Hasbro, who are part of that team. They want to do the good shit. They want to put out stuff that people want.
I don't think so. Look at who's on their team.
I don't know. I don't know these people. You might know them better. But Disney also says what they have to make for their new shows and all that shit too.
They do control some of that, because I've actually talked to one of the guys at Hasbro before, and he was telling me, Disney tells us what we can do.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stuff that they can do, but why do we keep getting these things, like the holocom ones? Why are they putting out so many of them? You know
why? Because they've already made the figures. Let's just make them translucent and have a light thing underneath.
But why would you do that when it's not what collectors want? You know what collectors want. That's not it. You're not at that point. You're not listening to your base. And Ollie's is a perfect example of what happens when you don't listen.
So here's how it works. I'm the head Hasbro. I don't give a fuck. I'm looking at the easy ticket, easy money. Just remake this and make it better. Put a chick in it and make it gay. And make it lame. I don't know, it sells, or that doesn't sell. But look, just make Darth Vader translucent now and put a light, make him glow. They do that with fucking Undertaker and WWE constantly.
But it works with Darth Vader.
Yes.
Who wants a translucent Han Solo? Han Solo is one of my favorite characters in the movie. Why would I ever want a holocron?
I'm gonna slowly raise my hand because look, dude. I can't help myself.
I just don't. I just don't want one. I don't think the majority of collectors, there's always, somebody is going to think they're really cool. They're going to get them and whatever. They're going to say, oh, these are going to look really good on the shelf, lit up and whatever. But that's not the majority.
It is not.
The majority of, they're not listening to the majority of their base.
But look, if I'm being the head of Hasbro, or at least the head of Star Wars, and like I'm looking at this, like, look, I don't want to pay for tooling and all this other shit, and then I don't know, because I don't know Star Wars, I don't know that it's going to sell. I don't know that. And you can show me all the fucking paperwork and whatever. I don't care, because I'm managing other shit. No, just reprint Darth Vader in a different way and resell it. I don't give a fuck. That's what's happening.
But the thing is, the Darth Vaders always sell. Yeah. They always sell. Darth Maul always sells.
Sure.
Darth Maul is always a wanted figure. I've probably sold 100 Darth Mauls. I bought just solid pack cases of them before and sold every single one.
Yeah.
People really want that one. Clones sell so good.
Absolutely. It's army builders, man.
Yes. I've bought solid pack cases, sold them all. So there are the ones that people want. If you put out a clone, people are going to buy it. But that's not what they're doing. They're not putting out the stuff people want. There are army builders. You look at they just did the Mace Windu figure that comes with the 187 Trooper.
Yeah.
In a 2-pack. That's an army builder.
Yes.
Why would you put an army builder in a 2-pack?
Because they want you to buy it. They're trying to get...
Well, I get it's a hostage pack to get you to buy the Mace
that's
Windu.
What it's called.
But the thing is, Mace Windu is a popular character, and he sells good by himself.
Right.
We haven't had a Mace Windu figure since they did the Episode 1, anniversary ones a few years ago.
Yeah.
On the carded ones. That was the last time. Then they did the Cartoon Network Mace Windu, which isn't the same.
It's not the
same. But people will still buy it. People still want...
Sure, Mace Windu is a popular character. He's going to get bought.
There's no reason to put him in a hostage pack at all.
No. I don't understand that.
So why would you do that? You have two good-selling characters on their own. Why would you put them together and then make it something that's hard to get?
That's a good point. I don't understand that logic at all,
yeah,
actually.
That's what I'm saying. So things like
maybe
that
it wasn't
make
like an
no
accident,
sense.
and they just pushed it forward because what else are you going to do? Like, I feel like, the creators and the people who run this are also like, their hands and feet are tied.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because how can you be that dumb to your audience? There's billions of groups and people. We talk about these groups and they're terrible and there's terrible people in them, but there's good people too. But everyone kind of all wants the same thing. So how do they get this wrong?
I have no idea. If you watch their live streams and stuff when Hasbro does them,
yeah,
they're horrible. They are so bad. And the people in the comments are
sometimes the pipelines are okay. And then you're like, oh, and then nothing.
Yeah, that's it. You'll watch it and be like, oh, okay, that's not what anybody wants. When you see the figure selection, you'll be, and then they talk.
We got Force Ghosts and a wood railing, which is made of plastic, but you can just get one railing. It's not a full fucking bridge.
That's a whole other thing that they do is as a 375 collector with Black Series, they copy the 375 stuff. And then we don't get it in 375.
No.
That whole Force Ghost thing, that was a Power of the Force 2 pack.
Yeah.
And they didn't offer it in Vintage Collection. There's
they
so
must
many.
know something. How many vintage collectors, like I'm not talking about new vintage collection, TVC.
Yeah.
And compared to Black Series, and look, there is Black Series fans, and there's random Black Series fans like me. Like, I'll buy random 6-inch figures of Star Wars because I think they're cool,
Yeah.
But I'm not a like straight habitual collector.
Yeah.
No.
But if you a good way to look at stuff is look at the Hasbro HasLabs. The best selling ones, are TVC.
Sure. Well,
They're not
going to make a ship. HasLab like for 6-inch. That's just not going to happen.
No, they can though, because look they do it with G.I. Joe.
Well, what Star Wars thing can they build that's like that big? And you know what? People probably will pay for it because like it's Star Wars and it's like that's going to be fucking huge.
Okay, imagine like an ATST.
I'd pay for it.
Exactly.
It'd be super tall and it'd be awesome and actually very thin legs, so yeah, it's not that much plastic.
Exactly. So it's not an unreasonable thing.
It'd be the size of the Sentinel,
Exactly. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. That's one of those things.
Perfect.
Like what they say is, these are things we wouldn't normally be able to offer.
And you can charge $450 for that, even though it's not worth that at all.
No, I think
but you give a little extras with it. I'm paying $450 for it.
I don't even think it would need to be that much.
It doesn't need to be.
Realistically, you can get away with a $250, $300 price tag on that.
Look.
Depending on the tiers you want to offer with it.
Sure.
So, that's an option. That's something
I'm just
like
saying
you just
realistically.
said.
But
Yeah.
like out of all HasLabs or Mattel Creations, anything that's super overpriced, Star Wars is always the most overpriced bullshit ever.
It is. So, I actually ran some numbers on it before.
Okay.
Comparing Star Wars and G.I. Joe. Comparing like how many units were sold.
Let me calculate this.
I did. It's literally what I did. I figured it all out. Star Wars sold more units than G.I. Joe, and they also paid way more than G.I. Joe.
Huh.
So when you broke it down, like the averages, Star Wars fans paid more for their HasLabs. If you look at the Razor, because you got to look at the sail barge, the Razor Crest, the Ghost, and the Cantina.
But you have a history there. You don't have a history of Joe's except for 50th anniversary and certain stuff. So Joe's like of course the community wanted shit, but wasn't a community for a long time.
But the Joe community shows up to the HasLabs.
Oh, absolutely.
They're funded
Yep.
in a day.
Yep, they are.
And the Star Wars stuff takes forever to fund.
Yeah, it does, and some of them fail.
Yeah.
Because,
Look at Black. They haven't done a successful Black Series one yet.
No, because like that Rancor was fucking bullshit.
So I wanted the Rancor so bad.
I
but
wanted
the
it
tiers,
too.
The tiers were garbage.
Yeah, cardboard. Come
They
on.
dropped the ball on that.
No Rancor trainer. Come on.
And no Rancor trainer.
What?
And why couldn't you extend it 2 weeks before he shows up in Book of Boba Fett?
Right. And
That's
then,
horrible marketing.
It is. And then also, like, dude, just the paint jobs and everything was fucking
Yeah.
awful.
And the thing is, I knew that there was going to be a Rancor in Book of Boba Fett. When the series started, somebody said, "Oh, hey, what do you expect is going to happen?" I said, "There's going to be a new Rancor in there."
I mean, it's pretty awesome that he fucking rides it,
Yeah. And I said that. I think I could probably go find the post because I don't remember. Somebody told me that there's a Rancor in it and Boba Fett rides him.
But did the, what do you call him? The troop of 4 or 5 fucking, what do you call him? And they had a Rancor episode.
Which one?
The cartoon show. What do you call them? The troopers who defect.
Oh, Bad Batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. Okay.
They already have that Rancor episode. They don't write it, but the Rancor is nice and,
Yeah.
So it kind of made the Rancor kind of trainable, from that.
But if you read the books, like Tales from Jabba's Palace is one of my favorite books, and it goes all into the training of the Rancor.
Is that a Scholastic book?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just making sure.
So Cobra Dad can't read it. It's one of my favorite books. And in it is there's a whole story about the Rancor and, where it came from and training it and all that stuff. Really good.
I mean, obviously it can be trained because
Yeah.
there is a trainer
Yes.
that we know from Return
Yes.
of the Jedi.
So, like I said, Hasbro just kind of dropped the ball on that one. And it's, they don't seem to pay attention to what we want. Did they really think we wanted bones and cardboard with that?
I think they half-assed it and they thought, oh, everyone's going to buy a Rancor because everyone wants one. Of course
Yeah.
we do, but we're not just going to buy anything. We're not stupid idiots.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to let them know. Sometimes you just be like, no, we're not showing up for this. And, TVC fans consistently show up and they spend the money.
Yeah.
The Cantina was something that not everybody wanted, but people still backed it.
So I can do a comparison, and it's like I really wanted the WCW stage for wrestling, Mattel Creations, and that was $450 with lights and all this stuff, and it's a pretty big setup, and of course it didn't make it, and now all the figures that they had tiers coming with it, they tried to give those away free to get people to fund it, and they wouldn't. I guess there's not that many WCW fans out there, but there is. They don't want to spend it on it.
Yeah.
Now people are 3D printing, pretty close to that for like half the price.
Exactly.
So,
a lot of stuff like that you can do yourself, but
sure.
Some of these things that they offer us are supposed to be things that you wouldn't normally get.
Yeah.
Like I'm supposed to be getting my Ghost pretty soon. And that's a huge ship.
Pretty big.
That's not something everybody can just go do.
There's no space for that in a store anymore.
No.
Stores do not have a room for
a lot of
toys
stores,
that big anymore.
Yeah, a lot of stores don't even have helmets.
Wow,
like the Black Series helmets.
Yeah.
GameStop is about the only place.
The last
I don't see them
big
anywhere
thing
else.
was that I think it was Spinsters or whatever, the Batwing. It was,
Yeah.
I think it was Spinsters. I don't know who it was, but it was a big Batwing, big red box, and like they got marked down to like $10 or something like that. I bought 2 of them. I still have them.
I got one.
I just haven't tried to sell them yet.
I got one of those in the red box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no room for that shit.
No.
Like
No,
retail space is like huge,
That's like the Boba Fett throne room. That thing the box is huge. It's like you couldn't put that on a store shelf. It's going to take up way too much room.
I mean, depends on what time you walk in, because when I walk into Target or Walmart, it's usually bare. Certain Walmarts are stacked, but it's like a bunch of like kid shit that grown-ups would never buy.
Yeah.
All this like YouTube toy bullshit that I don't know what it's from,
Yeah, our Walmart, our Target, they have their aisles that are kind of, more geared towards the adults. Target, the wrestling figures are right next to the Star Wars figures, which are right next to the He-Man and then the Ninja Turtles. And it's none of the kids' stuff. It's, all the stuff that, we would be buying.
I'm still surprised that there's still He-Man shit on the pegs, because I thought all that shit went to Mattel Creations, because nobody's buying that shit.
We were just talking about this earlier today. He-Man stuff, it is popular.
It is.
People don't want to pay crazy amounts of money for it.
No, they won't.
But, it is a good seller. I have a ton of it. When it came out, I was like, what? I'm going to collect this. I'm just going to buy one of everything, and I'll open it all at some point. I haven't touched it. There's 3 huge boxes sitting in my garage, and a Castle Grayskull and everything. I just haven't done anything with it yet.
I still have the reissue Castle Grayskull, which I plan on taking out and painting again, and just like I do with all of them I get, and flocking them and making them look cool.
I'm going to put it on the shelf with a bunch of the, figures and some of the smaller vehicles and that kind of shit, and
but
whatever.
they're like, they're taking a page out of like, Star Wars, recreating the classics, which I don't think with Star Wars they recreated the classics. They made those cards that look beat up, that are not.
The retro
just looks stupid.
The retro collection, the figures, they are super close to the originals. Like I have them. I have I don't know how many sets of the first one they came out with. They put them out in the store, then I got a sealed case of them, and then they came out with, they reissued them in the box set and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a whole bunch of them. I think I even have a set that's opened. They're decent figures.
They seem to peg warm if you're not, a Farmer Luke or any Luke,
So this is kind of funny. The vintage community, people were going nuts when they announced these.
Yeah, sure.
You're going to tank the price
idea.
of vintage collection, the vintage figures. Oh my God, we're never going to be able to tell, the difference in the weapons and the difference in the figures. You can tell.
You can tell.
You can tell really
Absolutely.
easily. They literally put an R on the weapons so you couldn't pass them off as real.
And that's a good thing, but also like plastic is super different nowadays. It's way different than what they were doing back then.
Yeah. So that set came out. It was popular. The Empire Strikes Back series came out. Super popular. Those were so hard to find. Boba Fett and Yoda, everybody wanted them.
Do you think if they did like classic vehicles?
I think so. That's something. I'm in a Facebook group for the retro stuff, and everybody's like, "Can we get a vehicle, please?" I mean, putting out a classic X-wing, I think would sell.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not something very hard, complicated. It's not a huge one. That can easily go on store shelves. I don't see it being very expensive.
I can see a land speeder selling, even though like they've made them and everything, and like the original's not that expensive anyways.
Yeah.
But still, people will buy it.
Exactly. I think an X-wing or one of the TIE fighters.
Oh, definitely.
Would be
TIE fighters always sell, no matter what.
Yeah, TIE fighters always do great. The quality on some of the modern ones has really been trash. The vintage collection TIE fighter is absolute garbage. The wings do not stay on.
Wow.
They don't.
Dude,
everybody knows
my popcorn bucket stays on better than those.
Really, it does.
From Disneyland.
Yeah, it is absolutely horrible. I sold mine. I didn't want it. I was like, everybody was saying the wings fall off. You can't even display it.
Like some sticky tack in there. You know?
Why? At that point, you're
but
defeating the purpose. So I was like, I just sold it. I didn't care.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
Somebody bought it. They paid me good money for it. But I think something like that would do really good. And I think you're going to have the same thing. People are going to cry about, oh, it's going to affect the value of the older stuff. It is not. None of this stuff does.
See, for wrestling, and I follow that, but like some of the older stuff isn't that old, and they're re-releasing it already. So, and that does ruin the market for what I do, and I sell these old figures. So I'm like, fuck. Now I'll just get rid of these figures and collect the new ones.
Yeah.
And they're within, 20, 30 years. It's not like Star Wars where it's within 50 years.
Yeah. But still, they're, right now, in some lines they put out, like Ninja Turtle stuff. The retro Ninja Turtles. That's from the late 80s, early 90s.
But still, wouldn't you rather have an original Michelangelo over a re-release?
Exactly.
It's totally different because you lived that era.
I have a bunch of the retro stuff, and I'm thinking, I don't want a whole bunch of this. Why not just get the originals?
Yeah.
And that's how, that kind of leads to how I feel about repro stuff. Some people, it is a huge thing in the vintage community being anti-repro, and it's like, I do understand that, because if I wanted vintage, I'm going to get vintage. If I'm okay with repro, why not buy retro figures? What's the difference then? It's new. It's not the same.
I mean, if you're just like an average Joe and remembering your old shit, I get that's why they make those and put them in stores, so you go, oh, I remember this. And I'm a Gen Z or Gen X, or it doesn't matter, somewhere in between, and you go, I'm going to buy this for myself, and also maybe my kid will play with it. And that's how they make their sales, and that's a majority of their sales, rather than grown men collecting them too,
Yeah, and I understand that. They're cashing in on the nostalgia. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Like, I've bought it all. I had bought the retro Return of the Jedi set. That was a really good set. Came with the yak face.
I'm a victim of it all, dude. Like, a little bit. Like when He-Man got renewed by Mattel again, instead of the Super 7 bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was into that for a little bit. I fell down a rabbit hole, and then, even the Star Wars a little bit, and then even Street Sharks recently. I bought one, so
I haven't done that yet.
I bought the main one, the main dude.
Yeah,
whatever,
I've been.
That's it though.
I've been debating it. Yeah. All right, so we were talking about earlier, and I just pulled up the numbers about the HasLabs.
Okay.
So, between just the Razor Crest, the Cantina, and the Ghost, the three of them, if you bought one of each, you spent $1,300.
Okay. Not bad.
Right.
Nowadays.
And now if we compare it to G.I. Joe, the last three combined was $900.
Okay.
Okay, so Star Wars fans over the last two, you're paying $400 more than G.I. Joe fans for each one. So roughly on average, you're paying more than $100 more than what a G.I. Joe one goes for.
I feel like the Joe HasLabs, you get more shit, and they get funded faster, and all the tiers are cooler, actually.
And that's the thing. You're getting more. You're getting more for less money. Where Star Wars, if you combine like the amount sold over those 3, was Hasbro took in $27 million.
Absolutely.
For Star Wars.
Yep.
For G.I. Joe, they took in $23 million.
So, and there's the argument that they don't need to do Kickstarter type of shit because they can just make it and sell what they can sell, and they will make profit. But with these Kickstarter type campaigns, they make exponentially way larger money.
Yeah.
Like, we are getting fucked.
So if you look at, let's look at the, Razor Crest. What did we get with that? We got 2 figures.
Only 2. And then
Right?
you got the slabs, the carbonite slabs.
You got the carbonite slabs, but it was set up for those already.
Right.
So
right.
you
If
should
you
have
don't
got
get
them.
those,
And
someone's going to have to 3D print those.
And the stand was a tier. Come on.
Really?
The stand was a tier.
Come on, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is such bullshit.
So
It's like half the ship is a tier.
yeah. So that one, was $350, and you got 2 375 figures. How many figures came?
Wasn't there like some metal alloy on the Mandalorian or something like that?
No, it was.
Or cloth goods? I don't know.
You got a cloth cape on the Mandalorian,
Okay.
and the pram for Grogu was metal vac, so it was shiny.
What? Why wasn't the Mandalorian fucking vac metal?
I don't know.
That's what I thought was supposed to happen, and he's supposed to have cloth and feel like, yeah.
Okay, so you got those 2, and that was $350. The Hiss tank was $300, and how many figures came with the Hiss tank?
Oh, a lot.
You got 4.
Yeah.
You got 4 6-inch figures for less.
And it's 6-inch?
And it's 6-inch.
6-inch scale.
Yes.
But Joe's were meant to be, the vehicles were meant to be scaled to the figures.
Or 3
to
and
make
3/4,
sense.
yes.
Star Wars, kind of, yes, but it was made from the film, which is different.
Yeah.
So
Star Wars, they fudged the scaling, to
Yeah.
make it so you can have this stuff.
right.
A Millennium Falcon should be way bigger than the toy if it's to scale.
Yeah, but I always say this, and I would love a scale fucking AT.
Oh yeah, that'd be
At-
huge.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it earlier when we talked about potential HasLabs. That would just be too big.
But
It
why
really
not-
would be big.
Just make it not scale and just
Make it bigger.
Yeah, and have more components to it, which would be cool.
Yeah.
More rooms in it and cool features that come out of it, and they could have a new AT-AT in one of the series, showing the cool new features, and then put it out after that episode comes out or the
That
movies.
makes too much sense.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why would you do that?
Because you have to put a chicken in and make it lame.
Like the cantina. The cantina at $450.
Yeah, fucking garbage.
They
dude.
sold 14,000 of them,
I hate that cantina.
and they still made $6 million off of that.
You know how hard that is to set up?
How many figures come in that? 4?
None. I don't think any. No, Wolfman, Devil Dude, right?
And the Tanika sisters.
Yeah, so 4.
4 3 3/4 figures.
I really want the Wolfman, but
So, same thing. Then you look at, look at the Dragonfly, for GI Joe that I just got the other day. That thing was $275.
that's
It's
not a
huge.
bad price.
No, it's not. It's huge. How many figures did that come with? 3?
So what about Hasbro doing the animated Sentinel, but not as a Kickstarter, not as a crowdfund? It's just $200, and you get a couple of blast effects and whatever, and that's it. This is $200.
Yeah. I mean, that's how they did the Boba Fett throne room.
That's how they should do
that's
shit.
That's a big set. But God, we waited almost 2 years for that.
Stop doing the crowdfunding shit. It's just fucking bullshit.
I think for some things it works. You know, like
yes, absolutely.
I think there needs to be a better balance. Like I said, with the Boba Fett throne room, that thing took us over 2 years to get. It was a big set, and you could actually still buy it, and they put it on sale and that kind of stuff. It's a nice set. I think it's definitely worth. It was like $250. You get a ton of accessories with it.
Yeah,
I bought it just because I wanted the barbecue spit that sits behind Jabba the Hutt. That was the main reason I bought that set, was for one of those. But, you know, you can't do them all the time. You know, one a year, a pre-order thing like that. You know how many you make a couple extras.
No, and they're also looking at, people who are just buying it out of nostalgia like me. Like I don't collect every Star Wars thing, but I have my money in wrestling, I have my money in Marvel Legends, I have my money in Ghostbusters, HasLab,
Oh yeah,
whatever.
I'm waiting on one of those too.
I didn't buy it, but I really wanted to because they have the flight suits and everything. I wanted the expensive one. It's got all the cool shit that I really love, and it's the Ghostbusters 2 card. The decals, you can take them off if you want.
I've got the Ghost Trap and the PKE meter coming.
Oh, the life-size stuff. It's not right. It's not correct. I don't
Yeah,
like
but
them.
those are the things I like from the movie.
Sure. Yeah.
So I really like the Ghost Trap and the PK meter.
And now you hunt
Had 'em as a
ghosts.
kid. Yeah, had them as a
For a
kid,
living.
and those were the things I liked from it. So
This man has no penis. Look, I love Ghostbusters like way more than normal people do. And people don't know that. I don't talk about it on, Hoodcast or nothing, but I do. And I love part 2 more than anything.
no, I think Ghostbusters is really good. I like it, and part 2 was one that I seem to watch more.
Yeah. It's just like maybe I was too young for Ghostbusters 1, but I did see it a bunch of times, and still watch it.
Maybe like
But
HBO
Ghostbusters
always
2
had Ghostbusters 2 on. That's why.
Well, I remember seeing Ghostbusters 2 in theater. And I remember them, the kids chanting He-Man. I was like, yeah, that's from my past. I'm like, because I was, 11? I don't know at the time when the movie came out.
Yeah,
maybe 10? I don't know.
When.
And I remember, He-Man, really? Yeah. Chanting for He-Man? Okay, kids.
So, we'll get back to it. I think, the stuff with the modern, figures, the direction that they're really going, I don't understand.
So, was there any understanding to the direction when the original vintage figures came out? Because they did re-release certain stuff in certain packs, and depending on what movie was out, and they would just release a line of toys.
They would just re-release the figure on the newer card. So if it was like the Farm Boy Luke from
nobody gave a fuck back then because there wasn't hardcore collectors. There was collectors, yes.
So you could still get that same figure, but now it came out on an Empire card, then a Return of the Jedi card, and then later they came out with the Power of the Force line that came with the coins and stuff. So the thing is, they actually did have like a vision of where the line was going to go, even though there were no more movies. So a lot of stuff then was ending up at at KB in their bins, 2 for $1 and stuff like that. You still had the Droids cartoon and you had the Ewoks cartoon.
Yes,
those I think each ran up for like 2 seasons. So you had some figures from that, and that kept it going a little bit. But they had plans like for the Droids line. They were like the speeder from it, the White Witch. Mm-hmm. They planned to. Like there's a prototype for it. It was never made, but they were planning to make that. You can go online and you can find like a 3D print for it, whatever. And
I love some of that later Power of the Force stuff because I like all the C and D list characters that you see for a second.
Yeah.
And for as many people like who love Star Wars, and especially now, like for as long as lineage has gone, you rewatch those movies and you notice things and characters that you've never seen before.
I still do. Every time I watch it, I notice something different.
Little details,
Just little details. Little things will be like, oh, wait, shit, how did I never notice that before?
And if they put that in figure form, you're like, oh, I'm buying that. That's cool,
Yeah. I saw an ad for Hasbro. This was in the 2000s. and it was for a figure that was in episode 3 for less than 2 seconds. And Hasbro said he got less than 2 seconds of screen time, but we're building a figure for it anyway.
That's cool. I'm all in.
But we don't get that anymore.
No.
No, we don't. Instead, we get 15 Landos. What? Nobody wants all these Lando figures. Why do you give us 4 different Lando figures all like in 1 year?
Right.
And then wonder why
they're still peg warming.
Exactly. We
Still.
were talking about that earlier today. Someone I know who doesn't do Star Wars at all said, "Why are there still Lando figures at Walmart?"
Like, I understand the Reva figures, and I understand that there's no Tico, anymore.
Yeah.
Still peg warming because they just threw those away. Not that she was a terrible person.
One thing,
stupid haircut.
I'm pretty sure the Rose Tico that came in Black Series was in the exact same case as Captain Rex.
How about this, though? That they're trying to re-release, what is it called? The Last Skywalker, whatever, Rise of Skywalker. The last movie.
Yeah.
They're trying to re-release those figures. What the fuck is going on with that?
So
why are you releasing the same Rey and all this? Like, why are you? Look, I don't hate the movie. I hate the idea, but I do like just the scenes of where there's clones and shit. I know it's stupid, but I like how it looks. It's kind of horror-esque to me, and I like the Emperor on that long robot arm.
Why didn't we get that?
I want that. I want that.
Why don't we have that?
I want that.
That's the thing. Everybody's like,
it's dumb that he's still alive and everything. I get it. And the red ships and red stormtroopers, whatever. But like, we got those.
Everybody wants that. Why don't we have it?
It's cool looking.
Why don't we have that in Black Series? Why don't we have it in TVC?
I want it.
Honestly, with the arm,
they don't know where the arm goes. That's why.
I think making like a base or whatever for the arm to attach to, that's a TVC thing to me. Why don't we have that figure in Black Series? That's an easy repack.
They don't want to get sued. They stole it from anime, probably like Ghost in the Machine or something like that. Where the character's connected to this long.
We have an Emperor in Black Series already. You're just reusing the body. All you're doing is changing the robe. What is so hard about that? People want that. How about the officers on the ship with the red and the black?
Yeah.
Why don't we have that?
That's cool. I like how they looked. I mean, there was good elements to the design of the movie. I'm not talking about the story or anything else.
Yeah. And it's like, why don't we have those ones?
There's certain things that J.J. Abrams is good for, and I don't know. I'm not giving him credit for that because there is a design quality to certain people who worked on the Star Wars who designed all that shit. I don't know their names. It's not just J.J. Abrams' ideas.
One of them is my cousin's best friend.
Oh.
Yeah. He's worked on all the Star Wars stuff.
Cool. I mean, look, I'm for them looking more like Nazis and more red. Like, it's just, they're bad guys.
Yeah.
They got to be snazzy dressed.
Exactly. That they should, make you think of evil when you look at them.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
So, and I get like how people hated like the new prequels when it showed like, like Hux, and then it like all the like new Empire flags or whatever, the First Order flags, and it looked hella Nazi-ish with all the stormtroopers standing there.
That made so much sense,
dude. It made perfect sense that they never showed that in the original Star Wars. Like it, but this is, I get how it's like right in your face. It's like it's too obvious.
I mean,
but I thought it looked cool.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I thought that was like,
hey, being more obvious is great.
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah, so stuff like that. Like I have said, I don't know how many times on all the different podcasts we've done. Why don't we have a Black Series Queen Amidala in her red dress?
What? Yeah, you're 100% right.
Why don't we have that?
You can charge $39 for it in a like exquisite box.
I will pay that. I would pay if you made it a deluxe, all soft goods with the sparkly gold stuff on it. I'll pay $50 for it, no problem.
Charge $59.99 and have her as the Padme or whatever the guard.
But make it a hostage pack with
have her guard.
Yeah.
Who switches out with her.
Yeah. Well, why don't we have that figure?
Yeah.
Everybody would want that figure.
The prequel stuff sells.
It
They
does.
know it sells.
We just got, the...
Maybe they don't have her licensing right now, and they have to pay for it
they
constantly.
just put out a figure of her.
And when Disney does so Disney didn't do those prequels, but
No.
when Disney does a movie, look, and I have to think that when George Lucas or his company at the time that Disney owns, Lucasfilm, when they do a Star Wars movie, especially at that time, you have license forever to make fucking toys.
They always have. He's done that since the beginning.
And your likeness, we can make your toy. If you
Yeah.
star as Padme, we have your likeness forever to make toys.
Yeah.
Right? And you're signing on to this, right?
Yeah.
You're signing the line.
They do. They've done it for every movie. So there's all these other figures have been made like that. There's a ton of the Queen Amidala's in 3 3/4. They just
haven't made a Darth Jar Jar yet, which is canon because they made the Lego set with Darth Jar Jar in it.
I don't know about that.
But still, they can make a Darth Jar Jar. Why not? They
could.
Yeah, why not?
They could. They could put it in one of those comic book boxes.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
Exactly. And people will be like, wow, it's a novelty.
It's cool.
It's a way for them to sell non-canon figures.
He won't look as goofy. He'll have evil eyes and red eyes. It'd be good. You know, I'd buy it.
That's something that they could easily do, but they don't. And I don't, like I said, I don't understand it. There's so much that people want that we aren't getting. I know you can't give fans everything they want.
I can't
but
believe it.
At some point, it's like, who's listening? Who are you listening to? I actually got in trouble in a Black Series group on Facebook because when I was at Celebration, I took a video of Patrick, who used to be the head of Star Wars for Hasbro. Right?
Hey, SpongeBob.
This guy didn't know how to turn on a lightsaber. A Hasbro lightsaber that he was in charge of, he couldn't figure out how to turn it on. He had to have 2 people help him.
It's not that power saber that they sell in Walmart now that Hasbro passed on. This dude invented a fucking saber that retracts. And
yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
No, it was one of their own lightsabers. I'm pretty sure it was a Darth Revan saber.
Like you press the button.
He couldn't figure it out.
It's somewhere on there.
Yeah, he couldn't figure it out, and
Is
I was
it the
told
HasLab one or
no.
Okay,
it was when they were announcing the HasLab one. It was that panel, and I was told I was bullying him.
Wow.
So my post was removed.
Well, yeah, that makes sense because you're on Facebook and it's pretty much liberal media.
Yeah, some of the groups have, we've talked about them before. There's one Black Series group I'm in, crybabies. All the time, the admins in there, any little thing, they'll, if you laugh at something that they don't agree with, they'll kick you out. Yeah.
Look,
other ones they don't care.
I don't think the Acolyte was fucking terrible. I think it was awful, except for Manny Jacinto. Like I really liked him, and I like certain ideas, like when she puts on the helmet, and it's I like a lot of ideas.
It had good elements.
Yes.
There were good elements overall. Not very good.
I don't like witches. I mean, look, witches in a space, fucking. I'm fine with that, but the whole mentality of it was stupid. But,
yeah, I mean, the witches worked in Clone Wars.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's not like we didn't want that. They've had it before.
Dude, the Force is space magic. Come on.
We just didn't like the way they did it.
Yeah. But there's something to I cannot believe that people who work for a toy company and who are on the Star Wars Hasbro team, they absolutely want to make the good shit. Absolutely, they want to. But their hands are tied. They have to be.
I understand.
And they can't say that because in the company they work for, they'll be fucking fired. And look, I still want my job.
Yeah.
But here's what, so in the wrestling community, you got Bill McKenna, you got all these guys, and they'll do, just like Star Wars, like they'll have the discussion groups and shit like that online. And they're like, why don't you make this guy? Why don't you make this guy? And it's like, look, I'd love to, but we don't have the licensing. WWE has to say that we can make this, and you need so many. And they'll say straight up, you need so many John Cena, so many Roman Reigns, out there.
But like I said, there are those ones that can do that. You can make Darth Vader's. You know, Boba Fett has always sold. I mean, they really overdid the throne room one now that it's really cheap.
Yeah.
But you know what? I still sell those. I still sell them at regular retail.
Not enough people have them. I don't even
So,
have one.
you know, clones. You could put a different stripe on it, and it's going to sell.
Oh, because you need the stripe now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, when they had the artillery trooper with the yellow stripe on it, people went crazy for that figure. It's a stormtrooper with a yellow stripe. People were paying $50 a piece for those
For the yellow
all
stripe,
day
but
for
it's
the yellow
same-
stripe.
Wow, same mold too.
Yep, same mold, had a yellow stripe, and it came with the like a mortar.
See, I love the shore troopers.
Oh, those are
My favorite.
After Biker Scouts, those are my favorite.
They look kind of like them, but
That's why I like
the
them.
way like their beach tone, the paint jobs on them,
Exactly.
I fucking love it.
Those are great figures.
And also, great scene in the movie.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And you know, you have so
Star
many.
Wars on the beach is great.
There's so many, you know, things that you could do, and they just choose not to. I mean, you know, now they're just repacking older stuff. You know, they're putting out.
How about you take an old mold of, you know, the AT-AT I got up there that you gave me that I traded you for the vintage one. It's the one with the muddy feet.
Yeah.
But have like, you know, some beach shit on there and stuff like that. Have a bunch of shore troopers that come with it that look different and muddied and stuff from the Rebel fucking movie or whatever.
They put that one out from Rogue One. There is one.
There is one.
There is one. That thing actually gets decent money. It's almost a $300
That's
thing right
vintage
now. And
collection?
No, it's not vintage collection.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But it was when they were doing all the Rogue One figures.
Okay.
But it's still a big.
That was a Toys R Us
size.
thing, right? They had the whole.
I don't remember if it was Toys R Us or not. I got one at Ross.
RossCon, hell yeah!
And then they had them. A couple dollar stores got them. I never saw it at mine because I got the Force Awakens Millennium Falcon at the dollar store. I got a whole bunch of them.
That's
for
fucking
less
awesome.
than $20.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude. That's crazy. Like it's
Yeah.
still the same. It's just got the flat antenna, you know, which is dumb. But
Well, that one actually it fires a Nerf dart. It's got a thing that drops out and it
I know
shoots
that.
the Nerf dart.
Yeah, I seen that.
But
Yeah.
then I got the one from Solo that had the weird middle piece.
yeah,
in it.
This is how the ship used to be.
Yeah, I got that one at. I don't remember if it was Ross or Marshall's. I got those for like $15.
Probably
I got
Marshall's.
a whole stack of them.
Marshall gets weird shit sometimes.
Yeah, so it was one of those, and that's the thing that happens is these things end up. The modern stuff ends up at Marshall's and Ollie's and Ross. You know, we talk about RossCon.
We don't have
all
all
the
these
time.
out here, but Ross. We have Ross out here, but Ross gets sold out of shit. People buy it eventually.
Yeah.
Ollie's, all I see, we don't have Ollie's out here, but when I see videos of Ollie's, it's still stacked up with the same shit.
Yeah,
Same shit. I mean, I don't know what they do with the Rose Ticos. They must just go to the ashtray after that, but
I think at some point, Ollie's probably liquidates them. You know, like $1 a piece, and
Dude,
you know,
no.
somebody takes them.
no.
Somebody has. There's always somebody that thinks they're gonna make a buck.
Oh, those are idiots.
Well, yeah,
How many
there's
Rose Ticos they have? Sorry, dude. Like, yeah, but if you repaint it, she looks like the girl from Final Fantasy, like Yuffie or something.
yeah, there's always somebody that
No.
thinks they're gonna make some money off of it because they see Star Wars. Oh, I can buy Star Wars figures for $1 a piece. Oh yeah, even if I sell them at $5, I'm gonna make I'm gonna quadruple my money.
I remember when I was young and I told my dad, he was like, what do you want for Christmas? And I was young. I was like, just buy me Star Wars stuff. I was like really into it. But like, you couldn't get the figures anymore.
Yeah,
But they had like rubber ones and shit like that.
Bendems.
And that's what I got, you know?
and it's not what you wanted.
No, but
Yeah,
still, I was like, and he found some other weird stuff, you know? So I was happy with it, you know? I was like, this is cool.
yeah.
I got a bunch of Star Wars shit.
It's funny. I got Star Wars stuff that was, like after the movies were done, I was still getting like Empire Strikes Back stuff. Like I remember I got the micro collection, carbon freeze chamber,
Yes.
that is one of my favorites because it has the little Han Solo and the carbonite, and you push the thing down and it changes. I thought that thing was awesome as a kid. That was Empire Strikes Back. I got that at the same time I got some figures from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I had a lot of the Return of the Jedi
and
stuff.
then, I remember Christmas a couple years after that, I got a speeder bike and a Millennium Falcon.
See, yeah.
And this was like 2 years after the movie came out.
I fell off it because they stopped making all that shit. You can't get them anymore.
There was still...
And it was just all Joe's for me, you know? And then other weird toys after that.
Yeah, for some reason...
Madball.
I remember
rock
I remember still seeing all that stuff. I remember going to Sears, and they still had it.
I was doing the Sectars and fucking Rock Lords. And
nope, I didn't do
anything
of that.
weird. I was into.
There was a few things. I had some Stariers stuff and humanoids, some Centurions, things like that, but not much. I
loved Centurions.
I had barely any He-Man stuff. I had a Castle Grayskull, maybe, a few figures, but that was it.
See, I had a few. I dabbled in everything. Mask, except for Transformers. I was like, fuck that. I'm into GoBots. And I did GoBots for a little bit.
I didn't have any GoBots. I had a couple of Transformers, and that was it. Not very many. I had a blaster, and what else did I have?
Fuck Transformers, man.
There was. I just saw something that showed up the other day in a thing. It was a group. It was a Soundwave, but it was an actual cassette player.
Oh, it worked?
And it worked. My
cousin had that, dude.
My
cousin
had
had one.
And I forgot I had one of those, and I was like, damn, I want that now.
Good luck, dude.
So I was like, all right, that's on my list. I was like, you know what? Maybe now I'll just go, start picking up the things that I had as a kid. Because it was only a little bit here and there.
Right, because they're only going to get more valuable if you get in good condition.
There's only like a few things, like I said, because it was mostly Star Wars that I did, so I didn't have a lot of other stuff. Like I said, a few. I had a Devastator Transformer. That was it.
That was cool too.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I can get a couple of those. That's not a big deal. I've already got an Optimus Prime G1, and I got a couple other randoms.
I like evil shit, ghostly shit, like the Tonka. What do you call them? Like, changelings? Like, I don't know. They were had holograms.
Oh God!
They were made by Tonka.
I know exactly. Visionaries.
No, Visionaries was Hasbro or Mattel or something, and those were like warriors who had they had the shield or the pole arm.
Some stuff.
Visionaries had the hologram. It was Supernaturals for Tonka. And they had no movement really. There was some that did, and some were like ghosts with just a big hologram. They were fucking awesome, man. I actually sold some of them recently, but yeah, I don't collect that now. But
yeah, there wasn't much that wasn't Star Wars that I collected. So
yeah,
and then by the time,
dude.
then
like Madball head poppers, those were awesome.
Then by that time I started getting, it was all martial arts stuff for me, so I had to have
Chuck Norris figures. Hell yeah, dude.
Nunchucks and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, knives from 98-cent store.
Throwing stars. Oh, we used to go to the San Jose flea market.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it, dude. Every place would have nunchucks and ninja stars and all that kind of stuff.
I loved Wolverine, so I'd buy all that shit and put them all in my claws, and me and my cousin would fight. We wouldn't really stab each other, but we'd pretend we were Wolverines fighting. I don't know how that works.
I just picked up 2 pairs of nunchucks this weekend at the flea market.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got to clean out your locker to fit room for your bow staff, dude.
Yeah. I got nunchucks and I got something else I don't remember. But you guys,
You're still a fucking kid, dude.
Oh God,
see?
he's like, I'll give you 2 pairs for $5. I was like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, fuck, I can't pass that up. So, yeah.
Still gotta buy weapons, man.
All the time. I've got a closet full of knives and swords.
You don't have the lightsaber that turns into a flame?
No,
not the one that was on the YouTube that the guy made, but just they make them where it's like a torch.
No,
it's a lightsaber.
Yeah, no, I don't have one.
You should get one.
Yeah,
and then we'll sword fight.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All
shit,
right.
man. I think we fucking.
I think we did it.
we called it for this episode. And what
Yeah.
was good, what was bad.
You know what we
Still-
don't like, and
Continue collecting.
exactly.
It's not all bad.
No, it's not all bad. Maybe we'll do an episode pretty soon where we talk about some nice stuff.
I like the bad though.
I know. This is our 10th episode.
Yeah.
So I figure, maybe our next one, we talk about something good.
all right.
One out of 10 ain't bad. Just a little bit.
Absolutely.
Dude, maybe we'll get like Cobra Dad to come on and we'll make fun of him for it. He's our friend.
That is fun, and
But we'll
also
make fun of
good,
him.
But I think he's kind of negative. But it won't be us being negative.
Yeah.
So,
See,
all right.
so we'll
That's a positive.
exactly.
Yeah, I
We'll-
like it.
It'll still fit the show. All right.
In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you're under arrest, Chancellor.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.